And we're back. Off season's basically over. Going racing tomorrow. Practice car is just getting an oil change, but everything is all back and fixed, and this side looks amazing now. After all the scratches from the past year, it's all painted in one color. So that's awesome. I have headlights again, so super hyped on that. And then this car has basically a lot of assembling to do. So John resealed the transmission, blower sitting there. The motor has been rebuilt. And then, you know, we have some cooling upgrades as well right over here. So everything's coming together, and really excited about this season. It's going to be a little bit different, but have a lot to announce shortly. So anyway, no motor in the car. Where our engines go, Ted? So yeah, I guess a couple LSs will pull a premium the weekend before Race Wars. I guess this is another pro spec car from Doug Lanciano. So I did beat him twice in a row, actually, to win the US Drift Shootout a few years ago. But kind of cool to see these two cars in the same place at the same time. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get driving again. It's been December. So since December, what have I been up to? Well, I went to PRI the weekend after Drift Nirvana. And then at the same time, I was actually closing a deal. I invested in a food distribution business that services the Defense Commissary Agency. So that was really exciting. It was kind of tough to do PRI and the deal at the same time, but really great outcome for the seller. And then as the buyer, really excited to help grow that business. What else have I been doing? Yeah, a lot of business stuff. A lot of reaching out to new companies, potential new partners. I've also just kind of taken a step back and kind of enjoyed living in DC. Shout out to Rohit at Capo Deli for hooking me up. It's been a fun place to go, and if you are ever in DC and want a good spot for a drink, highly recommend. It's just a good atmosphere. You can get a nice cocktail, and there's music, and it's in a speakeasy, so it has like this hidden door. The front part is a deli, the back part is kind of a swanky, kind of cool place. So anyway, I don't know, that's kind of what I've been up to, taking it a little easy before the storm, which is starting tomorrow at Drift Nirvana. Tomorrow, really excited to get back to Summit Point, which is where I was last driving, but today we're just kind of prepping the car, taking it back to Virginia, and checking in on John, who's over there doing something with a drill. So anyway, yeah, I don't know, there's just waiting for some oil to drain. So pretty straightforward. We got a nice new K&N air filter there, or not air filter, oil filter. My bad. I know what I'm talking about sometimes. So yeah, I know I've been a little quiet, but that's kind of what I've been up to. John, what have you been up to lately? Work?
All the time.
What have you been working on?
Your car and Doug's car mainly. So both of them, like, you know, basically need a lot of 10 or 11 care. So I said, with the race car stuff, it's crazy how much behind the scenes goes on just to do basic things. So it's like, I mean, I said, like the fact your motor just every season, complete tear down the engine, tear down the transmission, tear down like the whole cooling system, just cleaning it. Like I said, like, you don't think about it, you pull your radiator out, you clean all the veins out, like clean all the dirt and the tire debris and everything out. That's just the radiator, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you never think about it, but that stuff builds up over time. Same thing with everything else. Like, luckily your transmission was actually in really, really good shape. The older Tex T101s and stuff are very, very tough. They just take up a lot of space, you know, so. But yeah, basically it's just a lot of FD prep.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. And I mean, this car is, I think this is like at least 10 or 11-year-old chassis, right? I mean, it's almost as old as that chassis over there. And it seems to, like you were kind of showing me earlier, there's just like a lot of stuff that has been abused over the years that if you don't take care of, it just kind of...
Yeah, I mean, there was some stuff that was definitely garage built. And I said, I've seen it plenty of times. It's just, I said, when you want to, like, you know, take bigger steps, you got to, you know, work a little harder to get there. Like, I'll just use the brake lines. He had, you know, 240 factory brake lines, but they're probably 20 years old. Like, you don't want to go to a track and have a 20-year-old brake line fail and take you out of competition. Like, that's just preventive maintenance stuff that's like, it's overlooked a lot of times, but it's one of those so simple thing to do. Just get it done out of the way, do something that like you don't have to worry about in the future. So it's just a good example, that's all. Like,
yeah.
simple, but a good example.
So what else is new for you this year? What are your business goals and what are your plans?
Business goals, just every year it's trying to keep moving forward. I said we've got some new guys starting, so hopefully we can start catching up on some work. We've been extremely backed up. Then trying to like move the product lines that have been building, stepping them up a little bit. So
What's
more.
What's the preview? What are these product lines? Is it just all this stuff sitting here? Oh, these are pretty cool.
Yeah.
These are definitely like seat brackets, right?
Yeah, there's seat brackets that are prepped. I haven't bent them up yet. The new design hydro handbrake setups. That's the welding.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
nice.
the welding,
this is the welding jig thing.
Yep. So
Nice.
I've already bent most of the bases up for that. Skid plates for the quick change setups. They're not. These got to be bent up, and then like hardware kits and other odds and ends components that we're just making in house.
Nice.
Yeah, I said we make them. Normally, we don't really sell them to the public. We just sell them to like race programs. So we're making more. That way we can keep putting them on cars, but then also offer them for people to just buy outright. So I figure it's a good option. Like, we have it anyway. We might as well make a couple more, and then somebody, if they want to do it themselves, they can just pick up the part and do it themselves. So.
Yeah, because I mean, incremental time to make. If you're already going to make whatever 1 or 2 or 3 of these things, like how much more time does it take to make 5 or 6 or 7, right? Is that kind of the thought behind it?
Yeah, if you make them all at the same time, you save a lot of time. Just like I said, like these are like hydro bases. Like if I bend them all in one shot, I might only have like an hour of bending time. But if I was to set everything up and bend 3, and then go back and bend 3, it just doesn't make sense to do it that way. Normally I do runs of them of maybe like 25, 40 at a time, but yeah, it just I was surprised that the handbrakes were never intentionally made to be like a product that I continued to make, but they're extremely rugged, and they just they're well priced, so people use them and you can beat the hell out of them. I like making driver components, like parts that are tough, the drivers can use, but it doesn't kill your bank, because we all are like spending everything we got to do this. So I'm not making stuff that's going to break on you, and I'm not making stuff that costs like your firstborn child. It's one of those things where it's like make it for the people kind of thing. So I'm just revamping it again. That way it's just as tough, but I don't know, like maybe I can make some profit off it this time.
Hey, that's fair. I mean, you do need to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not free. Yeah, that's a new banner, I think. That's pretty cool. Committed up there. The handbrakes are really cool. I mean, it's just a really sturdy base, unlike the other stuff that I've seen, which is just, I don't know, it feels cheap. You also bend them sometimes. John's handbrake, that's both in my S14 and my GT86, they're both really strong. You actually want them to have a little bit of flex right here, so that if I grab it like that and pull it back, it's gonna stay straight. And same if I like push it that way as well. So it's been in the car for a few years, and it's a really nice piece, and it stands out, especially in the interior. That interior isn't as pretty as my 86, but it's also right there. So yeah, all right, let's finish this oil change and load the car up.